Welcome to the Floushing Founders podcast, where I interview inspiring Canadian entrepreneurs about the highs and lows of taking the leap of faith and starting their own business. My name is Ashley Deering. I'm the owner of Deering Media, a Fredericton, New Brunswick-based digital marketing agency. Let's jump into the episode. Hello, good morning, happy Sunday, happy New Year. It's 2022. This is the first official live stream of the new year, and I thought I would switch things up a little bit today. So instead of having on our regular guests where we would interview them, we've been interviewing Atlantic Canadian entrepreneurs with the highs and lows of entrepreneurship and their businesses, but we're going to take a little break from that this week to try to provide some advice. So what we're going to do today is we've had 3 followers that have bravely volunteered their accounts to me to review their bio, their username, their content, and just kind of give some tips and tricks if they were going to hire me today, what I would do as their social media manager. So even if you're not one of the 3 accounts that was selected, I think that they're basically, suggestions that could be used across any account and just applied to your own niche. So I hope you guys learned something today. I put together a little presentation and I am ready to go. Thank you for joining Mirrorless Clothing. Hello. Okay, let's jump into it. All right, so yeah, today is free Instagram audit. So before we even jump into this, I do want to preface this with, I'm not an employee of Instagram. I am not the Instagram guru. I am just somebody who owns their own social media marketing agency. I work with clients. I have my own accounts. I do tons of research and things like that. And I'm really just bringing you guys my own tips and tricks based off all of that knowledge there. So, I might give out a piece of advice and you might say, screw that girl, I'm not doing that. And that's totally fine. But I am here to just give you my perspective and what I would change. Hello, thank you for joining. Hope you guys are comfy. All right, so let's jump into what we're gonna do today. So I have 3 accounts. So one is a movement coach, the other sells hijabs online, and the other one is a homemade jewelry maker here in Fredericton. And then I'm going to break down some tips for everybody, basically a recap of what we can learn from all these accounts. So let's jump into Brittany's account. So this is Brittany Wassoff. So Brittany is an embodiment witch here in Fredericton. Essentially, Brittany does a plethora of different things, but what her Instagram account is geared towards is providing tips and tricks for people that are experiencing pain in their daily lives. And she is helping them solve that pain or work it out through movement. So her whole channel is kind of dedicated to providing tips and tricks, showing you different movement techniques and different things that you can do at home to help yourself, as well as she has online courses and all sorts of other offerings that are paid. So I want to start with the bio portion itself. So whenever you land on an Instagram account and you look at their bio, it's kind of called the bio test. So before you even look at any of their content, you land and you look at their bio and you say, okay, well, who is this person? What are they about? And what value are they going to provide to me? And this decision is made very, very quickly, whether they're going to follow you or not. So you want to make sure that you have things laid out very clearly and concisely. So Brittany's done a pretty good job with her bio, but I will show you guys a couple suggestions as to how I would change it. So the first thing I'll note is where her name was. So the way that Instagram works is it actually has 2 search bars when you're trying to find an account. The first one's your username. So I usually recommend having your business name or your name or something like that there. But the second one is basically the search bar. So where it says Brittany Movement Coach, that is a search bar on Instagram. So some people are tempted to just throw their name in there, which is fine. But if your username and your search name are the same, you're kind of wasting an opportunity to get in front of new eyes. So even mine, you'll notice mine says Ashley, and then it says social media coach, because I want people that are either trying to search up Ashley Deering, so they start by typing in Ashley and then I'll pop up. But they'll also, other people that don't even know who I am yet, maybe they're looking for a social media coach just in general. That gives me another opportunity to show up on their profiles. And it's the same here with Brittany. Brittany had that she was an embodiment witch. I was like, okay, well, I don't know how many people are necessarily going to be searching for that term there. So what she really does at the end of the day is she's helping people heal through movement. So movement coach is probably what I would change it to start and test it out and see if it's converting and stuff like that. But instead of just having her name, I would add an extra layer of searchability and have some key terms towards her niche and what she's actually providing. This other thing I would do is she had all sorts of different things about, how many hours that she has trained for and things like that. I think the days, and even I was making this mistake last month and I had somebody point it out to me. So listen to this. Something I've noticed is in our bios, we'll write things like, oh, we've done this kind of training, or my mistake was I was a 9-to-5 escapee and turned into a 5-figure CEO, which is true, and that's great, but who the hell cares? My bio is not for me. My bio is to help attract people and tell them quickly why I'm here, what content I'm providing, and what value I give to them by following me. So the way I've tweaked Brittany's to have that is helping you live a pain-free life through online holistic practices. So she wants to sell her online courses. So I'm trying to let people know here that, okay, she's providing value by she wants to take away the pain in your life. How is she doing that? She's doing that through her movement coaching. How is she offering that to you? She has online practices. So right there in that little sentence, bang, 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 you know who Brittany is, what she's offering, and why you would follow her. Under that, I have follow for daily stretches. I just threw that in there, Brittany. I don't know what your daily or, monthly content is like, but whatever your value is, a reason for people to keep coming back, mine's social media tips. Follow me because I'm the person that's going to give you the newest and latest social media tips and help you stay up to date with that. Brittany, you could be the person that, every day you're sharing a different, way to stretch at your desk or something like that. Some sort of reason why people would want to keep coming back to your account. And then something else that Brittany offers is one-on-one coaching. So I would summarize this and close this up with a call to action, just letting people know that link in her bio, that's why you want them to go to that. So I just kind of tweaked it a little bit, but she already kind of had the gist of it. Now let's go into her content. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. If you're just joining now, what we're doing is 3 people have volunteered their accounts up for a free Instagram audit. We're going through their accounts. We're sharing what I would do differently if I was their social media coach. And it's honestly great advice that anybody can kind of take away. We'll do a summary at the end for tips for just everybody who's watching that they can go and apply to their accounts today. So that's what's up. So looking at Brittany's content, she is really good at nailing her brand consistency. So as soon as I landed on here, I noticed that the fonts were the same, the color schemes were the same, the elements that she was using, so she kind of has like these bubbles and stuff like that, they were all kind of the same throughout the post. So as soon as I land on here, I know that this is Brittany's account. And when I'm scrolling through my feed and I come up one of these quote posts or something like that, I'll instantly recognize that it's Brittany's work because of the color scheme and stuff like that. So I do think long gone are the days of, you have to post a photo and then a graphic and, go back and forth like that. But I do think brand consistency is really key. And that comes down to the colors you're using, the fonts you're using, the graphics you're using, but also the tone of voice that you're writing things within and stuff like that. So she really is good at nailing that. Something I'd like to see more from you, and that I'm challenging you to do, is make more reels and videos. So you're great at graphics and stuff like that. Instagram is definitely still a photo sharing app, but we have switched way over to video. And especially with something like movement coaches where you're doing stretches and dances and stuff like that, like video is really a key piece of content for you to utilize. So I would definitely work more video into your strategy. Some people, I think Later Media recommends putting up 5 to 7 reels a week. I'm not even at that. I try to hit for 3. So find what works for you without burning yourself out. And yeah, that's what I would do for your content. And then let's jump into a couple pieces of posts just so I can show you guys what I would do in there. So Brittany posted this the other day. It was a reel, and she is showing you how to, it was cool. You're putting your fingers through your toes and flexing, extending them. So she's basically showing you how to relieve some pain and get some movement there. The only recommendation I would have for this, Brittany, is to put hashtags in your posts. So sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. especially with something like reels. The whole point of a reel isn't to nurture your current audience, it's to go find new eyes and new people. So make sure you're utilizing hashtags, especially for something like reels, because that's the whole point, is getting in front of those new eyes. Use really specific key hashtags, and for reels I would only use maybe 3 to 5, just so it really challenges you to narrow in on what you're talking about, so you can find the people that are searching for those kinds of, posts, and that kind of help. One other post that Brittany had, so one of these like quote posts. I love what you did with this. I looked at the post itself, the graphic, and I was like, this is fantastic. And then I got into the caption. The caption is essentially a blog post, which isn't a bad thing. It's incredible that you have that much knowledge and education in the subject, but you lost me pretty quick. And I think you will lose people awfully quick as well. You have to keep in mind people on social media have a short attention span. So you might have all this knowledge, and that's fantastic, but that huge post there could easily be broken up into several different pieces. So I would take even just this one, the first tip here is to pay attention to how you breathe. That itself could be its own post, and it could be a carousel even, where you flip through and break those sentences up into each little graphic. Or it could become a reel where, you give me the one tip and then you're pointing to all the reasons why. So try, make your content work for you. You don't need to work harder in 2022. You're already producing fantastic work. It's how can that work for you across other channels? This could be a blog post on your website, and then you're sharing that to Pinterest, and you're sharing that to LinkedIn. Great. Then you're breaking it down for Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. So take this one big piece of content that you have and be smart with it and how you share it across each platform. Every platform's different. So in general, my tips for Brittany: you have nailed your brand consistency. The messaging across them all is the same. I know instantly when I see a piece of your content, you've nailed that. So yay, amazing. I would love to see more video content from you. So reels, showing up daily in your stories, just doing videos, how you did the foot thing. I would keep doing that kind of content. That's absolutely fantastic. And it's content that'll help people. And eventually over time, if they get enough value from you, they'll trust you enough to purchase your services. Utilize hashtags on all your posts. So you're doing them on some posts and not on others, especially with your reels. Utilize key specific hashtags because that's what's going to help them go viral. Take larger pieces of content and break them down into multiple posts. So if you're writing, essentially a blog post worth of content, it's not going to work well on Instagram, but it'll work well on your blog and other places. So knowing how much of that, I guess, to put on one post is kind of, a key trick that you learn over time. So just something to be wary of, because you are providing great content, but you don't want to lose people by trying to give it to them. So really try to find ways that resonate and look at your, insights over time. I took this one piece of content and I tried it as a reel and I tried it as a carousel. What worked better for you? And then try to keep recreating that kind of content. And then, same thing. Take down broken down points and create bold attention grabbing graphics. So carousel posts and stuff like that. You have great content, just break it down so it's more digestible. So that's Brittany. Let's dive in. Does anybody have any questions? You can throw stuff in the chat. If you do, I will stop. Let's jump into our next victim. So this is a friend of mine, Sarah. We helped run Cassandra Blackmore's political campaign together in May, but Sarah is an incredible person. So she volunteers at the community kitchens. She is an SEO wizard. She is now trying to branch off onto Instagram to sell her hijabs. She's super, super cool. So she was sweet enough to volunteer her account. So we're going to break down her account the same way we just broke down Brittany's. So this is Sarah's account, and the main purpose of this account here is for her to promote her online shop, her Shopify store, where she is selling hijabs. And she has free shipping, she ships Canadian and international. So here's how I would tweak your bio, Sarah. I'm getting better at flipping through these. Okay. So first things first, your profile photo. Right now it's just a drawing. You're so talented, and I know you drew that yourself, but I want to see your beautiful face in one of your hijabs. I want to see a profile picture of you, or at least, maybe your logo or something that would really stand out. Right now, if you guys look in the top corner, you'll notice that you can see my profile photo. And even in that small little circle, you can notice the pink right away and see that it's me. Like, it kind of gives you an instant, like, brand recognition that, oh, that's Ashley. That's Ashley's post. That's Ashley's story. That's Ashley's live. I want the same thing for you. So right now, it's that drawing. To me, it doesn't stand out online, and I want to see either your beautiful face or I want to see your logo. The next thing I would do for you, Sarah, is the same thing with that search title. So the name of your business is your username, totally fine. But for that name searchability, and you're an SEO wizard, so this is the SEO of Instagram, Sarah. Having your name there, I think is fantastic because when people go to reach out to you, they can easily connect with you and just, have that little extra piece. But right next to it, you have your last name right now. I would take that out completely because this account isn't necessarily about you. It's about your business and your hijabs that you're trying to sell. I would put in Canadian hijabs, or if you had, like, maybe it's a special type of fabric that they're made out of or something like that. Maybe they're all silk or something like that. I would put in some keywords there that people would be searching for if they were looking to buy those online. When I come into your bio, I would switch it to, so you have, she has a really cute bio right now where it's like, some people think it's just selling hijabs, but I think I'm selling joy. I think that's so cute. So I just wanted to find a way to reword that into a bio that has some purpose. So I wrote, helping you live a joyful, modest, and fashionable life, because your whole brand is about being joyful and happy through this fashion. Modesty is important to you, and you're helping them live a fashionable life throughout these collections and stuff like that. So that's kind of how I would tweak that one there. I put follow for hijab styling tips. So maybe you could make reels showing different wrap techniques, showing the different fabrics. Maybe there's different clips and stuff for them, like showing, that kind of backside of it. And then shop our newest arrivals as a call to action to direct people to your Shopify store. So that's kind of how I would tweak that there. The link itself, you just have a direct link to your website. I think that's fine if that's the only platform that you have right now. But I know, Sarah, that you have a pretty big LinkedIn audience. So I would take that one step further and create one of those milkshake links or link in bio where you have the list of links and have people redirecting to your LinkedIn and stuff like that, or your TikTok, or whatever it may be that you're also on. Let's keep going. Okay, so this is what Sarah's feed currently looks like. So to me, Sarah, the first thing that stood out to me was brand consistency. So what are your theme colors? What are your fonts? When you write, what does your tone sound like? Those are some of the elements that I think are missing right now. And I think it's pretty easy for you to sit down and kind of hash that out. Sit down and figure out what your brand looks like. What is your logo? Like, just different things like that seem so small, but they are things that help you instantly stand out online. When you're trying to build a community or build people that trust you and brand recognition, brand consistency is really key in that. So I would definitely push you in 2022, just put a little more emphasis on that. And the other thing I want to see from you, Sarah, is more reels and videos. I know I'm going to keep pushing that, but we have switched over. We're in a different realm. I've been spending all weekend learning about the metaverse, which I'm not going to share right now. But like, we are moving into new realms of social media, and video is absolutely at the forefront of that. Show me a behind the scenes of how your hijabs are made. Bring me fabric shopping. How do you choose the colors? Like, bring me, like, show more of your personality. Show me your family. Show me, whatever it may be, your workspace. Bring us behind the scenes. Packaging up a package and stuff like that, doing a little happy dance when you get an order. Like, I want to see more personality in the new year, and I want to see more video for that. And stories too, hopping on your daily stories and checking in and sharing quick tips and styling and all sorts of stuff like that. Any updates for your brand. Like, I want to see more of you in the new year. Let's look at a couple of Sarah's posts. So Sarah's super cool. Sarah figured out how to make an Instagram filter, which I think is incredible. I've been trying to do that for ages and can't figure it out. So really, really cool. So she shared a reel the other day showing that she made a new Instagram filter, and it's a hijab filter. So you can actually go through and change the color of the hijab, and you can change how it's wrapped. It's super, super cool. So for your reel, you wrote in your caption, check out our hijab filter. Okay, not bad, but we can tweak that. Tell me more of a story. So what drove you to make this? Probably because there wasn't one that existed. Oh my gosh, inclusivity. So now you can kind of like hit on some of these extra factors. Tell the story about how you didn't feel included with these Instagram reels. So you went out of your way to make your own so other people could participate in it and feel beautiful online and all that. Like, tell more of a story so you can build more of a connection with your audience, because what you did is super cool. Let's tell more about that. The other thing is for reels, I have noticed, and Instagram gives all sorts of different advice on this, but for me specifically and with my clients, I notice with reels, the best reach I get with hashtags is when we stay within 3 to 5 really, really specific niche hashtags. So like some of these in here, I don't know if I would absolutely, there's like a traveler one, hijab traveler, like I wouldn't use that in this because you're not traveling in this post. So it's more about the filter itself. It's more about the inclusivity. It's about, creating something new in this digital space. I would kind of condense your hashtags for a post like this. And we'll look at another one of Sarah's posts. This one here. So Sarah has some really, really beautiful photos of her products and her jobs and what she sells. So this one here, it said roses are red, get 10% off today with code NUDE2022 and free shipping. So your hashtags, again, just be specific to the posts. So like you have makeup and humor and jokes and nail polish and all sorts of stuff in here. Let's really get specific to what's in the photo. Describe the photo. Describe to the audience that you're trying to reach. Really hit on those kind of elements there. And there's no clear call to action on this post. So that's something I would include as well. So you're telling them, okay, here's the code, you get 10% off, but where do I go? Is the link in your bio? Are you going to give me the website? Am I able to, click on this post here and go to the Instagram store? You got to give me a little bit more there just so I know as the reader, what do you want me to do next now that I've consumed this piece of content? And it doesn't even necessarily have to be directing somebody to buy something. It could even be just encouraging engagement. So, like if you agree, write this below, share your thoughts. Like things like that are also calls to action. So Sarah, overall, my recommendations for you. So you have beautiful product photos. And your nailing showing up consistently online. Sarah shows up every single day on her feed. So I'd like to see you more in your stories in the new year. I want to see more of your personality. So you can do this through reels like we were talking about, going behind the scenes, showing the business, stuff like that. But I also would like to see a little bit of your day-to-day and a little bit of your personality throughout it all. Who's the person behind the business? Specific hashtags to the post material. So you are using hashtags, but really narrowing it down to what is in the post. Just because if I'm looking up a hashtag and then all sorts of crap is coming through that has nothing to do with what I'm trying to search for, it's going to alienate the audience and they're going to come off of it. They won't go on your account. They'll scroll past it, whatever it may be. So really make sure you're getting specific so you're reaching for the people that are actually searching for that content or are actually interested in that content. And my other thing for you, Sarah, is becoming more of a storyteller in 2022 to help you build a personal connection with your customers. So again, just sharing more of yourself, sharing more of the process of the business. Who are you? Why are you doing this? What's your story? Like, I want to connect with you in the new year. So last but not least, we have a jewelry company that volunteered for an audit. So this is Vam Vam Jewelry. So they are a handmade jewelry company based out of Fredericton. They're women of color owned. They do worldwide shipping. They even donate proceeds to organizations. It's super, super cool what you're doing. It looks like this is a startup. I was trying to look at your website and it's not yet launched. So it does look like it's a startup. It's launching in January. So welcome. It's so cool that you're following me and getting some tips before your main launch. So let's look at how I would adjust your bio. So same thing here, what I would want to do with your name. So your username is perfect. Your username is the name of your business. Super duper. When it comes to your searchable name, once again, guys, this is Instagram SEO essentially. So I would put sustainable handmade jewelry. Or I would even take it, if you wanted it to be local specific, you could put Fredericton in there, handmade jewelry. If it's, I don't know, like if it's made all out of clay, or if it's all made out of like sterling silver or whatever it may be, you can put those keywords in there. Really get specific in there, because that's your search bar. So aside from your username, that search bar there is something else that's helping you show up when people are searching for those key terms. So be careful with what you're putting in there. I actually liked your bio, so I only tweaked it a little bit. I would still have a helping statement. So helping you accessorize like an eco-friendly fashionista. So I like that you're giving back to the community, that what you're using is sustainable, that you're not mass producing and things like that. So I tried to find a way to really summarize that quickly for you. I still like the worldwide shipping, the warm and color founded. I think those are key things that you should have on there, but I would add a call to action, which is just shop your collection, where you can go into the website and then see, once you have the website up and running, I guess don't direct them there yet, but once that's running, direct them there with that. And let's just look at the feed right now. So this is what the feed looks like right now. It's definitely a startup, which is totally fine, and you're going to find your footing as you go. One thing I would say to you, same thing I said to Sarah, is the brand consistency. So choosing a set of colors, choosing a set of fonts, choosing how you want your brand to sound. Excuse me, I'm gonna get my Middletown. Just so when people land on your page, they know instantly what you're selling. They know instantly that they'll recognize you. And when they're scrolling through their feeds, they'll recognize you as well. Hello, thank you for waving. The other thing I would like to see is sharing more of the process. So same with Sarah. I think with any sort of like product-based business, it's really cool to show. It's nice to see the finished product, but I want to see how you got there. So showing me the process, showing me the behind the scenes, showing me the staff, the owner, where you're located, how you ship things, like get us excited, to make somebody a true brand ambassador, make sure that they feel like they're a part of the journey and that they know your company. Let's look at some posts. These rings are super cute, by the way. So this post here, so we're showing a hand with the jewelry on it that we're selling, and we say, because pearls are our wildest dreams, we have a couple hashtags. Super cute product photo. My only suggestion here would be to tell more of a story. And if it is just a short post, which is totally fine, have a really clear call to action. So like, yeah, beautiful, but like, is this your jewelry? Did you make this? Where do I buy this? How do I buy this? You know, what rings are these? What are the names of them? Like different things like that. I would just go one step further and have that clear call to action. This one here is a TikTok of you going home after being, through the pandemic and stuff like that, and I assume not going home for a while. I love it. I just want to know more of the story. So the TikTok itself is actually perfect. It's really short and sweet. I think just in the caption, I would go a little bit further and tell the story. So where is home? Like, I still don't know where home is for you, and I went through your profile. So tell a little bit of that story. Is that where your family still is? Is that where your parents are? You haven't seen them in maybe 2 years or something? Like, tell me a little bit more of that so I'm more invested in the story itself, because it is a really sweet video, and you got, good views and stuff, and good likes and stuff on that. On that post as well. So make sure that you're telling a little bit more of the story, so they're just invested in the story and keep coming back for more. Overall, Bam Bam, my advice for you I would like to see more of your personality, and you can do that through reels and stories. So please keep that up throughout the new year. Same thing as Sarah, just becoming more of a storyteller. So showing me the behind the scenes, showing me your story. How did you get into this? Why did you get into this? Is this something that, you've been doing your whole life? Like, let us see a little bit more of who you are personally. Include call to actions on every post, even if it's just encouraging engagement. So even if you're just trying to get likes or a comment or a save or a reshare, make sure that you have a call to action. Every post should have like a purpose and a reason why you're putting it out there, and a reason why and what you want as return as your KPI. and show us your journey. So make reels showing the process behind the work. I've already mentioned that several times now, but I think a really big marketing switch that we'll see in 2022 is people want a personal connection, and they want it more than ever. So really make sure that you're not just selling all the time, you're not just showing your work and stuff like that, especially in a line of work like yours where you are getting, customers that are buying your products and then taking photos and videos on them and stuff. Really leverage resharing that content, because that's content they're already making for you. So there's so many different things that you can do to add more of a personal touch, I suppose, to the account. So, as an overall takeaway, what can we learn from these 3 amazing volunteers? And thank you, by the way, guys. And even if you were one of the accounts that volunteered today, you don't have to take every piece of advice. It really is just my advice. I think you're all doing an amazing job, and I really appreciate you guys volunteering, because that's not easy to put up your hand and say, okay, yeah, you can go through mine and give me some constructive criticism. I really appreciate you guys putting yourselves out there. And because of these fabulous people, what we can learn from it is that your username is important, but your IG search bar name is also extremely important. Make sure you have keywords in there so people can find your account using that as well, or else it just goes to waste. Quickly convey your value and what you'll add to their lives by following your account. So those I help statements are essentially a really quick way of saying, here's what I do, here's the value I'll provide to you, and here's why I want you to follow me. Have a really clear call to action. So not just in your bio where you're telling them to, go to this link for this reason and stuff like that, but in every single post, in every single story. It doesn't have to be, buy, but there has to be a rhyme and reason to what you're posting, and a call to action is always like the perfect way to tie those things up. Tell a brief story in your captions. So make sure that you're not just throwing something out there and saying, this is pretty, give me more. I want to consume the piece of content, and then if I really like that piece of content, I'm going to dive into the caption and try to get more from you. So make sure you have something there for those loyal followers. Showcase your personality on all the Instagram features. So I find that things can get a little stuffy if you're only showing up and sharing graphics and things like that. This is really scary to come on Instagram Live and talk live and stumble over your words and try to do this kind of stuff. But it shows that I'm a human being and that I'm a normal person, hopefully. I don't know. I guess that's up to you guys. But it just, it puts you on the spot in a really vulnerable way. Whereas, reels are a fun, entertaining thing to share. Just try to make sure that you have a balance of all the content in the new year. Instagram has all these features for a reason. Make sure that you're trying to utilize each one in your strategy weekly and try to see what works best for you. And then lastly, focus on storytelling. I think it's really easy at the end of the day to get caught up in, trying to meet your sales goals and stuff like that. But focus on storytelling at the end of the day. You are always trying to tell the beginning, the middle, and the end. So maybe it's a pain point that your client had, and then you explain why it was a pain point, and then you explain the resolution through one of your services. That could be a caption right there. So even when you show up on your stories, hi, it's Tuesday. Here's what I'm doing today. Here's, what are you guys doing? Let's try to have... This is so sweet. I really appreciate you guys tuning in and reading this. Yes, this live will be resaved. I share all the live recaps later on in the day once I make the graphic for them. So yes, 100%. And they also go up on YouTube. So if you guys ever miss them here, you want to see it on a bigger screen, head over to my YouTube channel and you can watch them there as well. Thank you for tuning in. But yeah, those are my tips essentially. Is that my last slide? Yeah, guys, we made it to the end. Happy New Year. Happy 2022. I really hope you guys got something out of the live today, whether you're one of the accounts that volunteered or you're just somebody that came in and wanted to grab some tips and tricks for yourself. I really appreciate you coming in. I appreciate all your support last year, guys. I cannot believe Deering Media turned 1 yesterday, and that is just unreal to me that this is a 1-year-old business. Things are going well. We're on the right track. I'm following my passions. I'm able to help you guys. It means so much to me that you are here and supporting this journey. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Did you guys like this type of live? Usually I have people on and I'm interviewing other entrepreneurs, but it was kind of fun to do more of a tutorial education style video. So that might be something that maybe we alternate lives each week or something like that. So we'll explore that a little bit more in the new year. There. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate it. That's it from me for now. Those are my free Instagram audits. Maybe we'll do some more later on if you guys are interested in that. And I will absolutely reshare this live on my feed. Thank you for tuning in again and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.